Big Ten coaches rankings. Where does Ryan Day rank? Every year at this time, Chris, we tackle this. We
Yep.
go from 14 to number one, and we try to decide where we're going to go. Now, here's what we're going to do. You and I have two different lists, and they're
Yes.
not the same.
No.
So we're going to rank our own lists, and then I'm going to combine those lists together based on points, and then we will come up with a combined list for the show, and we will post that on our social media pages. So be on the lookout for that. But I want to hear from all of you too, who you've got in these positions. Chris, let's start at number 14, work our way to number one. Go ahead.
14, I have got Ryan Walters. The new head guy at Purdue, I think he's got a lot of work ahead of him coming in. Um, and I think he's really got to prove himself in the Big Ten. So for that reason, I got him starting at the bottom.
Three new coaches in the Big Ten. Two of them have experience, both pretty well thought of head coaches due to their previous work. This is the only one who's got no head coaching experience, number 14. That's hands down. I don't think the cupboard's empty in West Lafayette, but I also don't think it's nearly as good as what was there a year ago. So he's going to have to build this thing up. I got him at number 14 as well.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, for me, I've got Tom Allen at number 13. Had a great year at Indiana a couple years ago, but kind of regressed quite a bit last year. And, it's not looking like a real bright future for him this year either.
2021 COVID year was magical for the Hoosiers. And then 2022 came and it was returned to the mean. And now his seat's a little hot over there in Bloomington. He better have a little bit better of a year this year, or I think the fans, the faithful fans might be saying, maybe this is not the guy for us. Maybe it's time for a change. I agree. I actually had Tom Allen at number 13 as well.
All right. I'll tell you what, number 12, a guy I really like.
Me
I
too.
think he's making progress over there at Rutgers, but, just hasn't shown into the big results yet as far as in the win column. That's Greg Schiano.
I'm with you, man. I actually have Greg Schiano at number 12 too, and I also like him. I mean, he's a former Ohio State coordinator, 4-8 last year in 2023. He has an overall record of 80 and 89, and that includes some years where they won the Big Ten East, excuse me,
No,
the
the
Big
Big
East.
East.
Yeah, the Big East. They'll never win the Big Ten East, but the Big East back before it became defunct. He was 11th in recruiting. And he's got to win the state of New Jersey in recruiting, and he's got to win the transfer portal, Chris, and he just hasn't done that yet. So I've got Greg Schiano with you at number 12.
Yeah. For me, number 11, I had high hopes for this guy after what Michigan State did a few years ago, but I got to go with Mel Tucker here. Kind of, yeah. I've got Mel Tucker all the way down here. Yeah.
We are way different.
I just, he did really good with the transfer portal a couple years ago,
He
but
did.
last year it just didn't translate well. And you know what? His career coaching record, I believe, is still below 500, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not?
Mel Tucker's?
Yeah.
No,
It's got to be just above then, given
it's
those
barely
years.
above, but it is
Yeah.
above. Number 11 for me is Pat Fitzgerald. 1-11 last year, Chris.
He
He's
was.
he's 110 wins to 101 losses. His recruiting class in 2023 was 10th. I have mad respect for Pat Fitzgerald and what he's been
Yeah.
able to do historically at a school that has not much history at all. But the past couple years have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to rebound at all. Some of those good players that they had have left the program.
Yeah.
Remember that good defensive back they had in the Big Ten championship game?
Yes.
He skated and went to Notre Dame. So I just don't know at the transfer portal anymore, given the academic standards there and the fact that they don't have much history as far as being good. I like Pat Fitzgerald. I really wish he would go to a place where we could see what he really could do, because he's handcuffed so
He
bad
he
there.
does more with less than any other coach in the country. I truly believe that.
He has, yeah, he absolutely has. But this is not that. So
No,
I got him at 11th. All right, who you got? Who you got 10th?
Pat Fitzgerald.
Okay.
And I'm not going to rehash everything there, but yeah, Pat Fitzgerald at 10.
All right. Let's see who I got at number 10 here. Okay, here's where I have Matt Rule coming in. So 47 and 43 overall in college. We won't tell you what his record was there for the Carolina Panthers. He did have the 5th best recruiting class in 2023 in the Big Ten. Thought that was interesting. He also had some pretty nice transfers come in. I think Matt Rule can actually, I'm going to pencil him in as this is his starting point. And I think he can actually get that program and he can start to move up these rankings. But I'm going to pencil him in right there and say that's where Matt Rule needs to be.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, for me, number 9, this is where I've got Kirk Ferentz.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. He's had some decent years at Iowa.
oh, I can't wait.
You
Where's
know,
Aaron when we need him?
here's the thing. Yes, he has been coaching since God was a teenager, no doubt about it. But the fact is, he is a couple years removed from a Big Ten championship. He did, he had a respectable year last year. Okay, not really. He had a fair year last year.
He had a heck of a defense. Almost
Always has
won
one
the
of
Big
top
Ten
defense,
West
yeah.
with a great defense. But my gosh, that offense, Chris. Okay, can I jump in right here?
Yeah.
Okay. I have him at 9th as well. He's 186 wins, 15 losses. He had the 7th ranked highest recruiting class in 2023. But his inability to fire his son as offensive coordinator is going to be his downfall, and he's losing his fan base. They love the guy, but they are beating their heads into the wall because they know it is the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. They're never going to get the outcome that they want in Iowa City because he does the same dang things over and over and over again. Case in point, look at Wisconsin. They are changing the direction of their program.
Yes.
And the excitement that is there in Madison, Wisconsin, is nowhere to be found in Iowa City because of where Kirk Ferentz is at. Let's throw this comment in here from Ryan. He says, the Iowa game, I called that score. That's right, you did. I remember that, Ryan. You nailed that thing.
Yes, he
at
did.
the tailgate. He got the exact score right. That is right. I totally forgot about that, Ryan. You're absolutely right. All right, who's number 8?
Number 8 here, and I know you like him a little bit better than I do, but Mike Locksley. I think he's doing a decent job at Maryland, but, there's a few guys who I just think bring a little more to the table than what Locksley does.
Number 8 for me, this is where I have Mel Tucker, okay, from Michigan State. 5-7 last year, has an overall record of 23-21. All right, here's another reason why I put him up a little higher than you, Chris. 4th ranked recruiting class in the Big Ten in 2023.
Yeah.
Was Sparty. I know he's got a program right now that had some disciplinary issues last year,
Yes.
given what happened in Ann Arbor in the tunnel. But he addressed those, and he didn't back down from those. He faced them head on. I think he has a lot of mad respect from recruits, and I think he is building something there. But my gosh, is he paid a lot. His buyout is ridiculous. He's going to be there for the foreseeable future. So you might as well ride and die with this guy if you're a Sparty fan. But this is where I have Mel Tucker. So that brings us to the halfway point, right? So we should be on number 7.
And this is where I've got Matt Rule. I like Matt Rule a lot. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table. He's done a pretty good job coming in recruiting at Nebraska this year. I think he's going to really turn that program around. I think he's got the mindset to change that program around, much the way we saw happen at Baylor when he came down there.
All right, number 7 for me. This is where I put Luke Fickell. So my third of the new guys here. 63-25 overall as a head coach. That includes a 6-6 season or 6-7 season at Ohio State in 2011. And then he went on to Cincinnati and built that program into a team that made it all the way to college football playoff in 2021. he had the 12th highest ranked recruiting class in the Big Ten, but he came in late, so he salvaged that. He's done a
Right.
good job at the transfer portal, though. And I think I got this feeling he's my prediction of Big Ten Coach of the Year. They don't always give it to the best team with the best players who wins the Big Ten. They usually
Right.
give it to the coach who makes the best improvement. And given where Wisconsin was last year, coupled with the players they have coming back, coupled with the excitement he's going to bring and the fact that he's just a doggone good coach, I'm almost confident Wisconsin's going to win the West. And I think he's going to be the Big Ten Coach of the Year.
Well, I agree with that part, and that's why I've got him a little bit higher. But let's keep going here. Next on my list, I've got PJ Fleck here. You know, Fleck came in with, I think, with a lot of high expectations to Minnesota. I think that he's done an okay job up there. I don't think he's lived up to those expectations. You know, I think a lot of that maybe 2 years ago, he was on the cusp of doing that and just fell a little bit short when Ibrahim went down to injury.
Okay.
But I've got him in there at number 6.
All right, number 6 for me, it's Mike Locksley. 8-5 last year, 23-54 overall as a head coach. Not great. Did have the 6th highest recruiting class in 2023. But has there been a coach in the Big Ten who's turned his program around more than Mike Locksley in the last 3 seasons? I mean,
No.
PJ Fleck, but it's taken him a little longer.
Yeah.
Mike Locksley's actually turned his program around more. Him and Bielema, who I'll get to
Bielema.
here in a second,
Yep.
have done more in turning their programs around. But here's the thing. Mike Locksley's done it in the Big Ten East. That
Yeah.
ain't easy.
Which is tough. That's tough.
He's in the DMV. He's got a great recruiting area to pull from. That's where I think I got him penciled in at. Go ahead. Who's next?
5 for me, and you just talked about it, and that's Brett Bielema. You know, I think he's done a great job since coming back to Illinois. You know, he really turned that team into a good team, not a great team, but he turned them into a good team. They've got a good defense. They have a great run game that they've had over the last couple of seasons with him, and I really feel like we're only going to continue to see Illinois get better.
8-5 last year.
8-5 last year.
He's got a winning record overall. If he does what he did last year consistently in Champaign, he'll be there forever. He'll never have to worry about his job.
No.
Yep. I got Brett Bielema at number 5 as well. Number 4.
Here you go. You've talked about him already. And you know, I just think based on what he has done down at Cincinnati, I've got Luke Fickell in here. I really feel like he is poised for great success. I think this is the type of program where he will have great success. They like Luke Fickell's style of football in Wisconsin. He was born to coach in that type of environment, in that type of weather, and I think he is just going to excel in Madison.
Number 4 for me is PJ Fleck, row the boat. He's a Tressel guy. He exudes great energy. He's consistently won at Minnesota. The last time Minnesota's been a consistent winner was when they were winning national championships in the 1940s, Chris.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, let's give some mad props to what PJ Fleck has done there at Minnesota. I got him at number 4, and I still think he might be on a lot of coaches' short list for major programs.
Possibly. For me, number 3, it's got to be James Franklin. You know, Penn State had a little bit of a rebound last year, but you know, Penn State is a good, solid program. I think that Franklin is doing a very good job, and I look for them to be a power player in the conference this season. We saw flashes out of their young talent last year that's only going to get better with that experience they gained. So I've got him in at number 3.
Number 3, it's got to be Franklin, right? And here's the thing, and I've been telling you all this, and this is the only thing I'm going to say is we need to get to our commercial break because I know Ben is with us. I see him, so I can't wait to talk to him. But Penn State was super young. I'm super scared of them this year. They're my dark horse to make the CFP and win this Big Ten next year. Just I'm not hoping it happens. I hope Ohio State can do this thing. But this thing might be an absolute 3-horse melee next year. I would not be shocked if Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State all beat each other. and we all have one loss. I wouldn't be shocked in that at all. Number 2.
Here we go.
You're going to kill me, aren't you?
It's got to be Ryan Day. It has to be Ryan Day.
Oh man, Chris.
I want to put Ryan Day at number 1. I do. I always want to put Ryan Day at number 1, but I just can't do it. And the fact is that the guy sitting at number 1 has had more success over the last 2 years than Ryan Day. I've questioned now for a while his ability to win the big games, and he still hasn't shown me that he can, though he came close in the CFP. But, still fell a little bit short. I've got Ryan Day at number 2.
It pains me, man. This is a results-driven world, and the last 2 years he's had his number, and so even though I don't want to put Jimmy Boy at number 1, and I know that this will probably be cut up and sliced up and put all over the Team Up North's social media pages and everything else, but let's face it, man. As big as homers as we are. When we rank the Big Ten coaches, Ryan Day's got to be number 2 right now. That's the first time we've ever put anybody other than the Ohio State coach in our rankings at number 1. But this year, that's where we're at. Now, I'm hoping next year when we do this show, Chris, we can flip-flop that. We can change that. Ryan Day will be back on top. But that means you got Jimmy at number 1 as well.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. As much as it pains me, I mean, like I said, he's had the success the last 2 years.